Snow Bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
I disagree. I just think that black women are willing to hold it down for the man. I feel like we're always there supporting them. And I think that if anything, black women get the short end of the stick. We don't get. A lot
of times y'all do.
We do. So how are you?
I'll give you 3 short sticks that y'all tend to get. Number 1, black men need to stop telling y'all they're monogamous if they're polygynous. Too many black women are being manipulated into plural relationships that they didn't sign up with because of disingenuous men. Okay? I'm going to have 2 wives. Dr. Umar going to have 2 queens. If you don't like it, don't flirt with me. Leave it there. But I'm going to have 2. I'm going to be honest, right? Men have to stop manipulating women who looking for monogamy into polygamy. It's not right. You got a wife over here, you got a baby mama over here. You should have been honest up front. That's number 1. Number 2, black men have to stop holding women on an emotional leash, giving her the belief that you may one day commit, knowing damn well you don't want her. Let her go, but you won't let her go because your ego can't stand to see something you throw away get picked out the trash by another man and turned into a jewel. We are wasting too much of y'all time by dragging y'all along emotionally, and that's not good because black women have a biological clock. Y'all have a tick-tock on how long y'all can have babies, and because of that, we shouldn't be wasting time with y'all. If we're not serious, we should let y'all go.
Yeah, and let me add to that.
We got to stop putting our hands on our women. Too much domestic abuse, too much domestic violence. Too many black children are watching their mothers get abused by their fathers, and it's creating intergenerational trauma. So yes, there's a lot we need to do better for y'all. And I'm here to apologize to all my sisters in Australia for any black man that has done you wrong, because we need to level up in ways other than money that money can't fix for us. So I'm with you, Queen.
Absolutely.
We need to become better men, but we need y'all to be a little bit more sensitive to the economic challenges that black men face.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. This is your host, Nava. If you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button to help me out. I would appreciate it very much. And let's talk about this, y'all. I know we've been talking about this stuff a lot, but we have to keep talking about it until we get it right. Are men leaders? Are men capable of leading women? And should women be led by men? Or are women natural leaders? That is the question. We have a lot of questions, and we are talking about these things because we need to get it right. Everybody in the world needs to get it right. I'm not even going to just say the black community, because globally, everybody seems to think that men are leaders. But everything is actually showing us the opposite. Everything is going against that, saying that men are the leaders. Nature goes against that. The world that we are living in shows that they can't possibly be leaders, the leaders that we say they're supposed to be. This world is in shambles because of their leadership. Everything is on fire. Everything is dying. We're dying because of what they're doing to the food. We're dying because of them polluting the air, the water. They're profiting off of this and getting richer and richer and richer. So everything seems to fight against this concept, but yet you still have men out here thinking that they are supposed to lead women. We still have women out here fighting against women who are saying, hey, wait, no. If we're going by the actual definition and the meaning of the word leadership, these are not the qualities of men. These are actually the natural qualities of women. Women do not have to be forced into doing these things that you see on the screen. Women, naturally, we are very good communicators because our frontal lobe, our brain is just set up for communication. Women naturally have empathy, and we are naturally community minded. We don't just think about one or two people, and if we do, I think it's just socialization. Y'all excuse me. It's my Invisalign. I'm trying. But we've been socialized to believe that we're supposed to just blindly follow and just let them lead. And that is not the case. Women have never just blindly followed men. If you study history, women have always fought against what men were doing and trying to get them to do. So that's not natural. And men have always struggled to lead and to get women to follow them. That is not natural. Anything that's natural will flow easily. It won't be forced. And we see these conversations with men asking, how do I lead? How do I get these women to submit? What is a leader? Women don't ask those questions because we already know. Like when women are working in corporate America, they just already know. So I don't want to talk too much. Let's get into some of these videos to see what people have to say about male and female leadership. And I will be right back.
I got a bone to pick, okay? How did we as a society get duped into believing that men are just better natural leaders? Especially being out here on TikTok and seeing the types of men that people are married to. And supposedly these men have like high-powered jobs, and that's why their spouses give them a pass on not contributing at home. Like if a man needs a checklist to know how to clean the kitchen, there's just no way that you're good at your job. Like, oh, my husband's a project manager. Project manager. Baby girl, he cannot manage the project of the dishes in your sink. Now, let's say they're using weaponized incompetence in that situation. That still makes you a bad leader. Good leaders lead by example. They take ownership and accountability. Does that describe most men? I don't think so. Behind every good man is a woman who had his back. No. In front of every good woman was a man who exploited her unpaid labor in order to ascend to levels that exceeded his mediocrity. Truly, the best employees and the best leaders are women with chronic illness and/or mothers. We are constantly juggling all kinds of shit, visible and invisible, and we don't complain. We get shit done for ourselves, for our family, our loved ones. We are about that business at home and at work. Now, before any of y'all come at me and say that I'm an evil man hater, I am happily married to a wonderful man who is an equal partner. And unfortunately, I'm straight. I don't hate men. I hate how men have gaslit women into thinking that we are inherently inferior leaders, when, honey, you need to look in the mirror.
I don't agree with the statement above, but I just want to prove a quick point. If men feel like they lead relationships, because a lot of men do, then is it not your responsibility as the leader when things fail in that relationship? In the same way that, for example, in a political situation, people are quick to blame the left or the right. They blame the leaders of this country. When something goes wrong at work, in many cases, they blame their bosses because their bosses are the leaders. But when it comes to them and their relationships fail, they claim they're the leaders, but it's not their responsibility and it wasn't their fault.
Y'all, we see this all the time in the Black community. Black men claim they are the leaders, but they're online making these podcasts, blaming everything on women. It's your fault you became a single mother. It's your fault that the men are in gangs. It's your fault that he left you. Everything is your fault. We see that. They're saying it all online. Everything's our fault. And women, as the natural leaders that we are saying, okay, we're going to take responsibility for it, and we're going to be accountable, and we're going to stop birthing you. we're going to go 4B. We're going to be celibate. And since everything is our fault, we're just going to stop birthing you. You got it. You're right. We are at fault. Because why are the women doing that? Because women are natural leaders. People who are not natural leaders blame, they deny, they deflect, they do all of the above. They gaslight, they lie. And that is what we're seeing going on right now in the black community. But I'm pretty sure most men do this. But I'm talking about the black community because I'm black. So therefore, once again, they're proving us right. But now that women are taking accountability for us being at fault for everything, they are getting mad and saying, okay, well, we break up with y'all too. We break up. We don't want y'all either. Buy cats and die alone. That's just bitterness. They don't want to see you be accountable in the way that you're being accountable, by being celibate, by going 4B, by not dating, by not wanting to get married, by just focusing on yourself and being selfish. That is women's way of being accountable. And it's showing globally, y'all. I've made videos on it. The birth rates are dropping globally. So that means that women are holding themselves accountable globally for birthing the men who are oppressing us in many ways with the laws, just physically, mentally, emotionally. Women are saying, okay, well, we birthed y'all. So let's go, ladies. Let's just go. All right, let's get back to the rest of the videos.
I still feel, though, as the man, I am the leader of my household. Right? But as the leader, that doesn't mean that I just tell everybody what to do. My first responsibility as the leader is to make sure everyone is okay. Right? So I have to be of service to my wife. You see what I'm saying? When you say things like that, I have to be of service to my wife. The trigger word for people is like, oh, he wants to serve his wife. He's a simp. And then you have all the detractors who call you a simp because you, as a leader, want to serve your wife, right? Then there's a woman, if she says, no, I want to serve my husband, they tell her she's submissive, and you're setting women back. In our relationship, and it only works in ours because we've agreed to these power dynamics, I'm the man, I'm the head of the household, I lead. We both make a lot of money. I pay all the bills in the house.
Subtle flex.
Right, it's subtle flex. But because I did make a post, I said, I realized the greatest flex I could ever have is when my wife is kept, but she keeps making money. You see what I'm saying? As the leader, when we both make money, I take care of the family, I take care of our wealth planning, I take care of our legacy building. Whatever money she makes is hers. She can do whatever she wants to do with it. So is she really being submissive and being controlled? No, because she has the opportunity, if she wants to go somewhere else. But me being a leader and being in that position of power is giving her an opportunity to live in a life in a world with full autonomy. She don't have to depend on anybody else, not even me,
or desire anything from somebody.
So when she don't gotta live like that and she can just do whatever she wants, but she still wants to be my wife, that makes me feel good.
I would follow Terrence pretty much off a building because I would know something would be there to catch us, because he's not gonna lead me anywhere wrong, you know?
Oh, that's sweet.
This is absolutely beautiful. But what kind of crossed my mind when I saw it is how many men that are out there who want this kind of loyalty, who don't deserve it and haven't earned it. You want somebody who will follow you off a building. You want somebody who will give you her last. You want somebody who will do whatever you ask her to do. But you haven't proven yourself to be worthy of that kind of trust. This kind of love and trust and sense of security is not created by a man who is flaky, who says he's going to call and he doesn't, said he's going to take her to do this and that and doesn't take her. Like, this is from a series, a long period of time of consistency. But the kind of men that want this aren't the kind of men that are usually willing to do those things. You want those things on a first date. You want a woman to come in on her first date and you want to say, will you follow me off a cliff? And you want her to say yes. You have to prove yourself worthy of all of that. You don't just get that. If you want this kind of treatment, you're going to have to be this kind of man.
I got a rude awakening for the guys that think that all you need is money is to lead a relationship. Women are smarter than you think. Go find a woman and tell her how much you got and see how quick she play your ass because you're leading with your money. That's all you got. That's all you stand for. I remember I was walking with my mentor and he asked me, who are you? And I was confuzzled. Don't know what confuzzled means. I was confused and fuzzled. It didn't have anything to do with who my name was. Didn't have anything to do with my ethnicity. I'm a little drunk, so I'm probably speaking in slurs right now. It had nothing to do with where I came or where I live. But when he asked me, who are you? And he had to explain to me what that actually meant, some of y'all motherfuckers got it fucked up. It don't just take money to leave. It takes morals, values, principles, understanding who you are as a person, understanding that you have a divine connection to the Most High above. I'm pretty sure y'all see all these rich motherfuckers also getting played left or right because they women cheating on them also because they're only leading with their money. They don't have anything else about them that they stand on or that they stand for. I made that Trina post about her husband giving Trina all the money and her helping him or leading him in the right direction. And I saw a lot of guys in my comments talking about well, he not a man. Like, I would never do that. Like, you trying to teach the younger generation something. No, I'm not trying to teach them shit. Y'all got the game fucked up. Stop teaching our younger youth that all it takes is money to however y'all, I think y'all just want to control women. Y'all shouldn't want to control nobody because at the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter and you're somebody's son. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want nobody controlling you and telling you what the fuck to do also. But we need to teach our young men who you are as a person defines and dictates how people react and perceive you. Like I said, it goes back to principles, morals, and values. Now, trust me, I encourage men, our young men and our older men to have your finances in order before you enter a relationship. But I also encourage men to also realize that it takes more than money to maintain a relationship. And I'm going to really need y'all motherfuckers to think about this. How can she follow you when all you leading with is your money? And how can she follow you if you don't even know who the fuck you are? Now go do some research on
Hot
that.
take, but I think women are better leaders than men. I'm saying this because all the best leaders I had were women, and there's also a Forbes report confirming it. In the spirit of International Women's Day, here are 3 things that I learned from the best female managers I've had. Number 1, the best managers are really good at protecting the team from everything else. Favorite manager of all time, her name was Jen. This is when I was working as a consultant at EY. We had this toxic partner who would make us work late nights, weekends, you name it, we were working. There just came a point when this sweet, kind Jen, she was a senior manager at the time, stood up to this partner and said no. She said, if you need anything urgent, you can call me, but leave the team alone. And I loved her for that. Number 2, another hot take, but I think the best managers are friends with their teams. My past managers used to do that. We used to hang out outside of work, and I think that brings a good culture within the team. Number 3, I have learned from the best female leaders, life outside of work, family is number 1, that work can wait.
Men and women have different brains, significantly.
Wildly so. Women have much better frontal lobes function, but much better blood flow to the front part of their brain.
Which makes them
good leaders. If you think of impulse control and collaboration and communication. And the one statistic that just hammers this home is who goes to jail? Men. 14 times more than women. But women get depressed twice as much as men because their limbic or emotional brain is much busier than the male brain. And that's why in every human society, women are primary caretakers for children. Women have a bigger nesting instinct. So I told you we moved recently, and moving is much harder on women in general than it is in men because they feel like they lose their nest and they have to redo their nest. And
that impulse control bit, I remember reading the statistics that men suffer with gambling addictions and betting addictions significantly more than women.
Drug addictions, alcohol, ADD 5 times more than women. But women get help because they're not afraid to ask for help. Where for men, it's often a macho thing. It's like, there's nothing the matter with me.
I just want to say right here also that he said women get stressed a lot. And then he said that in most nations or countries or whatever he said, that women are the primary caregivers for children. Women are also the primary caregivers for everybody, the elderly, their husband, for everybody. And that is why women are getting stressed out and burned out. And that is a sign of a leadership, that women are able to do all of that, but women are getting burned out because women do not have communities of other women to help them. Because in most nations, they have become patriarchal and separated women to be with just their husband. Well, there are some countries that the wife and the husband still live with the parents. They all live together, but it's still the bulk of the load is on the women, you know. So I don't know, but in most patriarchal countries, most Western societies, America, women don't have that luxury to help each other. Even if they're like women in the house helping the other women in these other societies, they're mostly male identified and male centered. So they are going to be forcing that ideal on the women or the younger girls that you're supposed to do this stuff for your husband, your man. And that's putting a lot of pressure on those girls. Even though there are other women in the house, they're still being forced and taught to do all of this stuff for men. So I just wanted to say that so we can get back to the rest of the videos.
You know how we were always told that men are the hunters and women are the gatherers, and that knowledge has shaped the roles that we play in society, right? What if that was wrong? 2 weeks ago, this study done by Carol Wall-Scheffler was published on PLOS ONE called The Myth of Man the Hunter. They found that women have been hunting all along. The lead researcher went through the accounts from the 1800s to present day, and they were searching for written accounts about the hunting strategies. What they found is that in 79% of the societies they had data about, women were hunting. In fact, women were the ones making the weapons, tools, and grandmas were the best hunters of the villages. Even in 2018, a research team in Peru found a 9,000-year-old body buried with an unusually large amount of hunting tools. And everyone on that team assumed it was a man, a great warrior, until 1 week later they found out that the bones were of a woman. This knowledge has always been around, but overlooked completely. A quote by Kimberly Hamlin stuck with me. I think that next to the myth that God made a woman from a man's rib to be his helper, the myth that man is the hunter and woman is the gatherer is probably the second most enduring myth that naturalizes the inferiority of women.
Women are attracted to leaders. No matter what you hear, this is true. But what does it even mean to be a leader in a relationship? A lot of modern women believe, and will have you believe, that it means basically treating your partner like a pet or a servant. But that's not what leadership is at all, is it? When I look across the table at my girlfriend and tell her that I have a plan to make $1 million next year, but that it means I'm going to have to make $0 for the next 3 months, it's not her job to look at me and go, yes, sir. It's her job to tell me that she trusts me, but she has her concerns. That she believes in me, but also believes there could be a more reasonable path. And then it's my turn to ease her concerns by exploring all paths, and then make a sound decision based off of the conversation that we had. I don't just go forth regardless of what she says. I make a decision that the team can actually get behind. And she doesn't just snap at me and call me reckless. She breathes inspiration into me and encourages me to go take an exciting risk in a way that allows her to share in the excitement. Leaders are ambitious, they're courageous, they're accountable, and the best ones will command respect by achieving success with the help of the people they're leading. So women, men are not trying to enslave you. And men, women who speak up are not necessarily combative. Women are looking for an ambitious man who's willing to take risks. And men are looking for women with an emotional compass that'll let them know if they're heading in the right direction.
Did you know that women are better leaders than men? Yes, actually. According to 95 studies that looked at over 100,000 leaders, men are more competent, but women are more competent. A few examples that the studies give is 1, countries or states led by women have responded better to the COVID crisis and lost fewer people due to COVID. On a corporate level, gender-balanced leadership teams have a better bottom line, and male-dominated companies routinely underperform. Is this because women are just genetically wired better? Probably not. I think that this new research is an extension of this study that was done in 2019, which did a pretty good job proving out why Black women are the best leaders in the United States. And it's because they have had to shatter the most ceilings and they are fighting against the most biases.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here, and I just wanted to say that us being in a patriarchy is a huge reason why men think that they are supposed to be leaders. Men created this system and told men and women that they're supposed to lead, and men are really frustrated so much to the point where they're taking themselves out because they don't feel like they're valued, and because we're all like, we've all been lied to. So it's harming everybody. And I wanted to say, like, if y'all seen the Barbie movie, this latest Barbie movie, I think it came out like last year sometime, is a very good example of how men are not fit to lead because they're not capable. Like Barbie Land was just what I would imagine a matriarchy to be like if we could just have women just in charge of everything. It was just, I loved it. And Ken was just like, he didn't feel respected or seen because the women were just kind of like doing their own thing. And that's kind of like, Ken was turning into like an incel. I don't know, spoiler alert, if y'all haven't seen it and you're going to see it. They went into like the real world, into the patriarchy. And then that's the first time he ever felt respected because a woman called him sir. And he was just shocked. So he wanted to bring patriarchy back to Barbie Land, and he kind of turned into an incel for a little bit. And he brought patriarchy back to Barbie Land and then just destroyed Barbie Land and went crazy. He looked like a madman. He was pretty much red pill. Like nobody wanted to talk to him. He was just like a loser. But before it was just all about Barbie. But what I want to say is y'all need to see that movie. Like men are, and at the end of the movie, when the men didn't have to be leaders, when they were in like, I think they went to Barbie Land from the real world, the men found out that they didn't have to be leaders no more and they could just like play video games and just lay around and do nothing like they wanted to do. They were just happy. They just were happy. This movie was really showing us, I think it's really, they did this on purpose. They put this movie out on purpose because you see all the movements that are going on right now, like 4B, and women are like turning against men and trying to build community with women and just not having kids. I feel like the government knows why everything is going bad right now because they know that we're not supposed to be in the patriarchy. It's not natural for anybody, and men and women are struggling in this system. They're listening to our videos. They know. But I'm gonna show y'all this clip real fast about the Barbie movie, and then I'll come back later on in the video.
I've been seeing some conservative dudes say that the Barbie movie is anti-man, and I'm gonna tell you why that's not true at all. Major Barbie spoilers ahead. Patriarchy is definitely the villain of the movie, but none of the individual men characters are bad people. Ken is responsible for bringing patriarchy to Barbie Land, but he doesn't do it because he's evil. He does it because he's easily manipulated, believes patriarchy benefits him, and is upset at the lack of romantic attention he gets from Barbie. Ken is actually a really good characterization of how men fall into red pill incel sort of culture. But he's not a bad guy. He was just brainwashed by things he learned in the real world, and after he breaks that spell, he even says that after he realized patriarchy wasn't about horses, he lost interest. The CEO of Mattel is also not a bad guy. He's been doing what he genuinely thinks is best for feminism, he's just wildly misguided. He even says very directly that he supports little girls in their dreams more than money. He's part of the patriarchy, part of the problem, and very blind to that, but he's not evil. But the number one reason I know that Barbie is an anti-man is because there is a man character who is a shining example of how men can be part of the solution. That man is Alan. I love Alan. He recognizes that patriarchy is a huge problem and initially tries to escape Barbie Land entirely because he feels hopeless surrounded by all the brainwashed Kens. But ultimately he wants to and does help the Barbies by following their lead. And he does this without being a pick-me guy. He doesn't try to make himself the main character. He doesn't use what he's doing to try to get with any of the Barbies. He just wants to be himself and try his best to make things better. Be Alan. Alan fucking rules.
Facts why the girls are better than the boys. In this series, we're doing rankings and learning fun facts. Ladies, make sure a guy sees this and get his reaction. Women are better leaders. Data shows that women tend to score higher than men on performance reviews for leadership. Women are more respectful. Data shows that women are more respectful in professional settings. Women are better educated. In the United States, more women are enrolled in higher education than men, and more women graduate with degrees.
Man will only do what you allow him to do.
I've heard that.
All right. So, if women allow men, which means she submit, all right, and allow him to lead, she don't have no control over what he's going to do. She's steady submitting to him. Women have to change their minds and realize that they ain't supposed to submit to men because men just going to do what you allow them to do. because they don't have no governor on their own behavior to know when to not do something, to know better. They don't know. They just gonna keep being reckless. And they're not gonna take care of your feelings because they're only concerned about theirs. So the solution is to change women's mind and stop looking at men as leaders and take her natural position as leader and govern male's behavior, since he ain't gonna govern it himself.
Are psychologically programmed to think for the collective. And what that means is passed down through generations and generations of women who have been in caretaker roles, right? So this is passed down epigenetically through generations of women, the ability to think for others or think about the impact of our behaviors on those
Well, it makes
around
perfect
us.
sense. As moms, you want to make sure your kids grow up, make it into adulthood. This is the way we've evolved for a purpose. Someone has to be taking care of the kids, and someone has to be testing the edges.
Yes, exactly. And so this is actually one of our superpowers for leadership as women. Because we are constantly concerned about how our actions impact those around us, we make decisions for the collective or thinking about the impact on the greater collective.
Women are better managers than men. Well, I know that's a controversial statement, but isn't it true? I mean, women are used to multitasking in their life all day long, and that comes in very, very handy and very, very beneficial in a managerial job. They're also much more communicative. They don't just sit there and brood over something and then explode like some men do. No, they communicate issues. They are more collaborative, and those are all really great skills to have when a manager. As a result, if you look at our company, we have a leadership team of 8 people, 6 of them are women. That just happens because we hire the best person in there, but that happens to be often the woman. So guys, hire the women if you're in a position. Women, hire other women because women rock.
It's already hard for women to climb the corporate ladder, but a new study shows that the women who get there tend to leave much faster than their male colleagues. And you know what's going on because you follow me, Jareen, your favorite media girly who keeps you informed. The consulting firm McKinsey and the group Lean In did a big survey of 300 companies in the US and Canada. Research found that for every female director who's promoted, 2 female directors leave. That is at a really high rate, totally outpacing their male colleagues. And it's not because these women can't handle the work. Many of these women left their high power roles because of lack of childcare, pay disparity between them and their male colleagues, not being recognized for their work, or not getting the credit that they deserve for their work, and losing work flexibility because of return to office mandates. I'm seeing this being called the great breakup, but honestly it feels like women are leaving because they don't feel supported. What do you think?
So these women can do the job better, but they're leaving these companies at higher rates because the way that patriarchy is set up. They're not getting paid as much as men because men are doing that. They don't have childcare because men are making the prices of childcare so expensive because they want women to go home and be stay-at-home wives and take care of the kids at home. But women don't want to do that because they can't afford to do that because they can't count on men to take care of them. And they can't, while they're staying at home, they can't afford to not have their education and their money because men are not a plan. A man is not a plan, and women know that. So women are forced with very hard decisions, especially if they have a child. And that's why a lot of women are deciding to not have children because their livelihood depends on it. Their life depends on it. They know that they can get further in the world if they don't have a child. And this is what happens when you don't have a matriarchy or a system where women can collectively help each other with these kids that we're bringing into the world. This is what happens when women don't have community, and everything is just off because it's not the way it's supposed to be. Women are supposed to have each other, and men need to be with each other too. Women and men men need to be over there with each other, and women need to be with women. That's all I'm going to say. Let's get back into it.
So I've been seeing a lot of clips from Priscilla the Queenmaker, and specifically when she talks about how men are not designed to lead. And so my question to men is, can you name a time period, a civilization, when men did not purposefully make laws to prohibit women from getting the same education, make laws that made it so that women could not be in the same positions of power. But also, without making laws, they also simply made an environment of hostility towards women and were able to control whether a woman would be able to climb up the social ladder, the professional ladder, the social ladder, etc. If it's so natural for men to lead, name a society that has existed where men did not go out of their way to limit women's potential just so that men would be able to lead.
Fellas, it's a difference between being a leader and a tyrant. A lot of men out here nowadays, they take this, men are the leaders out of context. You believe just because you are the quote-unquote leader, you could just talk to your woman any kind of way. Whatever you say goes, and she just supposed to follow you, right? No, sir. She supposed to follow wisdom. She has every right to rebel against ignorance. See, you get so full of yourself and you forget that as a man, you supposed to be following something too. You supposed to be following what we would consider the Most High or just wisdom. If you're not following wisdom, why would your woman follow you? Because you don't even know where the fuck you going. You have to submit to something too. How you gonna lead a woman and you can't lead yourself? A lot of us don't be having self-control. We don't be having dick control. We don't know how to control our finances. We don't know how to control our emotions. We don't submit to wisdom ourselves. So why would a woman submit to you and you can't even submit to wisdom? You know what I'm saying? So don't think just because you the man, anything you say goes. If it don't make no sense, she shouldn't follow you. And yeah, I talk with a list, so my shit be fucked up sometimes, but she shouldn't follow you. You know what I'm saying? And we got to realize this, man. Like, just because you're a man don't mean you're a good leader. You know? So as a man, we got to make sure that we're submitting to a higher power, even if that higher power is just our higher selves of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we're following and operating out of wisdom. And then a woman will follow if she see that the shit you doing makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, like, don't be no tyrant out here, man. Don't think a woman just supposed to bow down to everything you say and you talking crazy shit. You out here cheating on her, telling her you want to be monogamous, but you out here cheating on that shit and expect her to be faithful to you. Nah, it don't work like that. Even if you believe a man's supposed to have multiple women, you tell your woman that. You don't lie to her about it and then play the card, oh, a man supposed to do that. Nah, a man supposed to be real and honest and operate with integrity. And don't get me wrong, I done fell short myself. Like I said, when I say these videos, it ain't that I have done all this all the time. I'm still learning and growing. I'm 33. You know what I'm saying? I still got a lot to learn. And, we growing together. So I just want my fellas to know, man, your woman is not following you. She's following the wisdom you supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got that wisdom, she has every right to, jump ship. You feel me?
I think I want to understand what you're saying when you say he can't properly lead you. But if this is a man of character and he's willing to learn, girl, he going to dust you in 24 months. Sheesh. He going to have a crazy growth spurt. I wouldn't throw that dude away. I'd hold on to homie. And since he can't lead you, then why don't y'all just get some counseling? Mm-hmm. Cheat coded, homie.
Cheat code.
You got a dude with character.
We can work with that.
We can work with that. You know how many dudes out here is really saved and have a real high Bible IQ and have zero character?
Dog.
They out here sleeping with the whole soprano section?
Wow.
And a couple of tenors?
Wow. Brother's diverse.
Dead meat, bro.
Ladies, you cannot work with and try to force somebody to become a leader if they weren't born to be a natural leader. I'm not saying that all women are leaders, but I'm saying most women have more leadership skills than men and they come naturally. You can't go to therapy and try to get your therapist to teach your man how to have leadership qualities so that he can lead you. Stop trying to get these men to lead you, knowing dang well you've been leading yourself ever since you were a young girl. Why do y'all want to be led so bad? Just be who you are. Like I always tell y'all, just be who you are. If you're a natural leader, don't be ashamed of that. Just just open up and just fall into that. Just be that. Just own that. Let's get back to it.
You can't sit here and say, oh, we're not letting a man take the lead, this, that, and the third, but you're sitting in the same breath, you're saying they're learning on the fly. So you're telling me you're expecting me to allow you to take the lead, and you don't even know what you're doing.
So you saying you gonna cut that man's legs from under him?
Nah, you could go ahead and grow with somebody else.
See, that's the reason why he's still with you, because he know that
He's not with me because I cut him off a long time ago.
See, so you cutting men off. You're not giving men chances.
No. Can we grow together? If you're not showing me we can grow together, you're telling me that you want to take the lead. You want to lead whatever situation we got going on, but you don't even know how to take the lead. No, you gotta stay.
We wanted to lead, but you hadn't even proven to be dependable. Like, if the car break down, you're going to be able to take care of it. Like, if something go wrong in the house, is you going to be able to take care of it. Y'all outside and something jump off of you, is you going to be able to take care of it. At the end of the day, like, it's our job to take care of that woman. So for her to trust your leadership 100%, you got to prove you're capable of doing those things. In fact, is a lot of men are not capable of doing all those things. You don't do a well enough job of taking care of yourself. Like, how is she supposed to expect you to take care of her? Like, you don't manage your own finances well. Like, you still owe in the street right now. But she's supposed to entrust her finances and her livelihood with you. Leadership has never just been something that's handed to you. Like, you gotta prove that you're capable of doing it. You gotta make the people that's following you believe that you're gonna be able to take care of them regardless of the situation.
See, this is why I think a lot of men are stressed out, because they have been taught that it's their job to take care of women, and it is not their job to take care of women. We've also been taught that, and it's not their job to take care of us. It's our job to take care of us. We are not children. And then we turn around and we wonder why they want to rule over us. They put us into a position where we think that they are supposed to take care of us, and it makes sense why they think they're supposed to rule over us and just govern our bodies and everything we do, these men in the government, because we've given them the power to think that. So women need to be accountable for that. We need to hold ourselves accountable, because I'm seeing it. I'm hoping that it'll turn around, but I'm seeing so many women online. I need a man to do this, do that, do this. And for those that don't know, I am married to a man. And he does take care of all the bills. He does all of that. And I'm not saying that to brag at all. But he does not have to do that. And if he was to decide to stop doing that today, all I could say is, okay, I wouldn't stay with him. But all I could do is accept that. He just does. But, if he doesn't, I'm not going to try to force another man, to pay all of my bills or to take care of me. He doesn't. I work, y'all. I got my own money. So if I'm not with him, I'll be okay. And that's the way it should be. But yeah, I'm starting to find it really sad when I see these men say we're supposed to be the provider and take care of these women. Because like I said, we've all been lied to. We have all been lied to, and it's stressing them the F out. They don't even like to take care of women. If you're online and if you watch my videos or Princella's videos, they do not want to do it. Some of them will do it because they've been taught that's what they're supposed to do, but a lot of them struggle. A lot of them struggle doing it. And I think women need to just set them free from that. Set them free from that. Just like the Barbie movie. At the end, those men were like, hell yeah, we will play video games. We don't have to do anything. We can just kick back. Like, that's more in line with nature. Like, just let them go. And I know y'all think y'all have no other options to help you out, but you can do it on your own. A lot of women are, and you can do it with a community of women. If you're struggling in all these struggle relationships, build you a community with women. If you have kids, and watch how much those women, if they're in the right mindset, if you get with like-minded women, watch how much those women will help you and take care of your kids, and y'all take turns doing stuff for each other. Okay, I'm gonna try to stop cutting off so much, but let's try to finish this video up.
Issue is, a man who can't lead will always be frustrated by a strong woman. A man who can't lead will always be aggravated by someone who doesn't just kowtow to him just because he is a man. Every single one of those situations, a man exposes himself as not a leader. Why is she not submitting to me? What is she submitting to? Let's start asking questions. Are you leading? Where are you leading? What are you leading? What is your mission statement for yourself? Not that you have to have one, but where do you see yourself going at? What is your mission statement as a husband? What is your job as a husband? Well, I'm supposed to be
the leader, the head.
No, so many want to be Christ, like Christ is to the church, but really what they want to be is God. And so what they want to do is develop hells when they really should be sacrificing themselves for their wives until she is healed. But the man does all the work. No, the man does all the work first. That's what leaders do. Leaders take the most arrows in the back. Leaders trailblaze. Leaders go first. And so if you want something out of your woman, you show her. You exemplify that. You let her follow you. When she doesn't follow, that's when you have a problem. And you say, well, if you want to go right, I'm going to go this way.
What are some of the obstacles that black men in today's society have in leading? And when we say leading, we mean leading in the family, within the community, within life. What are some of the obstacles that we face as black men today?
Fear. Black men fear failing in front of everybody. So to be a leader, you got to be willing to be comfortable with failing. And black men do not want to look bad in front of nobody at no opportunity in life. That's why we walking around with fake hair. We killing ourselves to get these cars. We killing each other to get this stuff. Like, but when it comes down to it, man, fear is the main reason black men do have issues with leading. Fear and a lack of direction from their upbringing.
No, that's not the main reason. The main reason that they have issues is because they aren't leaders. Everybody is not a leader. I'm not saying no men could be leaders, but for the most part, most men, the majority of men are not natural born leaders. There are some men who can teach themselves how to lead. They can teach themselves temperance. They can teach themselves how to communicate better. You can teach yourself just about anything, but does it come naturally to them? No, but in order to do some things that they wanted to do, they had to adapt. Yeah, that's the word. They had to adapt and they had to grow. They had to evolve. All men, especially black men, it's harder for black men to evolve because they are at the bottom of the hierarchy. They are at the bottom of the pyramid. So, and they're not trying to get up. They, instead of trying to get up and fight and trying to build communities and protect their people and to do all of that, they have always just gone along to get along. So they don't have confidence most of the time. They don't have communication skills. It's just so many, it'll be a whole nother video. It's just so many reasons why they are not capable of being leaders at this point in time. And it has a lot to do with the patriarchy. It has a lot to do with the system that we're in. It has a lot to do with oppression and slavery. It just has a lot to do with just who they are as people. It's too much to talk about right now, but y'all get the gist of it. They're not capable. Very few of them are capable of leading anybody. And if we're in this system where all other groups of men are above them, it's going to be impossible for them to get their group of women who are very smart to actually follow them and to submit, which is not what women are supposed to be doing. Women are supposed to be leading, but since we have been all lied to, it's going to be dang near impossible to get most men to see this. But I do follow some men. I don't follow some men on YouTube, but I do watch their videos. And like I always say, it's about 3 men on YouTube that I agree with. I'm not going to shout them out because they don't shout me out. So like I said, ladies, mirror their actions. If they start shouting me out, I will shout them out. But until then, I'm just going to tell y'all, it's 3 men on YouTube that I follow. And some of y'all might see me in the comments now and then. But other than that, I have not found many of them at all And that's pretty much all I have to say. Get down in the comments, ladies. Hit that subscribe button and let me know, have you seen the Barbie movie yet? And if not, are you going to watch it? You should. Like, it's all about the patriarchy and what's wrong with the patriarchy and why we should be in a matriarchy. I saw it once and I loved it, so I need to watch it again. I wish I had some friends to watch it with, but I don't. So I might watch it again by myself. But yeah, that's all I got, ladies. So until next time, bye.
What?